Harper Quinn didn't look up from her phone when she said it. "If you can play Chopin's Nocturne in C minor, I'll marry you on the spot." Her heels echoed across the marble lobby of Lyra Records, the only sound besides the faint hum of a floor buffer. The janitor, broad-shouldered, late 30s, paused mid-polish in front of the grand piano at the lobby's center. He was cleaning it with a care that felt more like reverence than maintenance. "You hear me?" Harper finally asked. He looked up, his gray-green eyes unreadable. One hand rested on the piano bench. "I heard you," he said evenly. "But that's not a piece you play because someone dares you." "So, you do know it," she said. He didn't answer, just folded his cloth with the same precision as a soldier folding a flag. Harper scoffed and walked away, not sure why she'd even said it. Maybe because of the silence of another late night in the building she ran but didn't feel part of, or the way the man looked at the piano like it wasn't furniture but memory. By the time Elliot Reed finished wiping fingerprints from the black lacquer, the building was still. He sat on the bench, fingers hovering over the keys but not pressing them, listening to the silence shaped like memories he hadn't touched in years. The next morning, Harper's assistant rattled off her schedule, but Harper wasn't listening. Her eyes kept drifting to the piano in the lobby, and to the faint smudge where the janitor's hand had rested. "Jennifer," Harper interrupted. "Who's the overnight janitor?" "Elliot Reed. Been here 6 months. Why?" Harper didn't answer. That night, Harper stayed late again. The lobby was dim, the piano glowing softly under pendant lights. Elliot was there, kneeling to polish the brass pedals. "I owe you an apology," she said. "For what?" "For being condescending." That Chopin comment was stupid. He paused. "Most people wouldn't remember. I remember everything. That's how I stay ahead." Elliot stood. "Then you should also remember, Chopin isn't a party trick. He's prayer set to music. You speak like someone who's played him." "I've played a lot of things. Doesn't mean I still do." "Why not?" "Because some things stop belonging to you when you stop needing them to survive." "That sounds like someone who's lost more than he expected to," Harper said. Elliot studied her, then simply nodded. "Good night, Miss Quinn." The gala disaster came 2 weeks later. The Berlin Philharmonic soloist had been in a car accident. In desperation, the board asked Harper, who'd once been a prodigy, to fill in. Pride wouldn't let her say no. She lasted 3.5 minutes on stage, barely making it through a simplified Bach prelude. The polite applause felt like judgment. Backstage, Harper couldn't breathe. She slipped out a side door into the freezing night. Then she heard it. Music. Her piece, but alive, transcendent. She followed the sound to a forgotten upright piano in a dim storage bay. Elliot was playing, posture disciplined, fingers effortless. He didn't see her until the last note faded. "You rushed the transitions tonight," he said without looking up. "Your shoulders were too tense. You weren't playing. You were shouting." His words stung because they were true. "How do you know that piece?" she asked. "I played it once. For someone who mattered." "You're not just a janitor." "No more than you're just a CEO," he replied. "We all hide in uniforms. Why are you really here?" Elliot's gaze dropped. "Because life is a thief. It takes what you love and leaves you what you need to survive. And sometimes survival looks like pushing a mop. That's a poetic way of saying you gave up." "I didn't give up," he said quietly. "I gave everything. There's a difference." That night, Harper couldn't sleep. She searched old concert archives. One photo emerged, E. Reed, finalist at the St. George Classical Showcase, 2005. A rising star, the caption read. Disappeared from the circuit in 2009. Elliot Reed wasn't a janitor. He was a fallen star. Tell me the truth, Harper said the next day, cornering him in the break room. About what? About who you are. I know you were E. Reed. Montreal. Rising star. You vanished. Elliot rinsed a rag carefully. You've done your homework. I don't like mysteries in my building. I'm not a mystery. I'm a man doing his job. No, Harper said, stepping closer. You're a man hiding. After a long silence, he sighed. My wife had cancer. She died in 2009. Our daughter was 2. I couldn't tour and still be there for her. So I chose. Harper's throat tightened. You gave it all up. I gave up the stage, he said. Not the music. Now it only wakes when my daughter laughs, or sleeps. And you don't play because? Because when I sit at the keys, I hear everything I've lost. You're wrong, Harper whispered. You hear who you loved. That's not the same. The next night, Harper sat at the lobby piano after midnight. She let her fingers hover, then press softly, haltingly. Then a second pair of hands joined hers. Elliot sat beside her, weaving harmony into her broken melody. They didn't speak. They just played, a patchwork of memory and invention that somehow felt whole. When they finished, Elliot said, Your left hand still tenses when you're uncertain. So does my heart, Harper replied. The two are usually connected. A week later, Harper visited his apartment, invited by his daughter, Luna. It was modest but warm. Bookshelves sagged with classical scores and children's books. A worn couch faced an upright piano beneath a sunlit window. Luna proudly showed Harper a thick folder of Elliot's unfinished compositions. Daddy says they're sleeping, she said. Harper traced the delicate pencil marks on one unfinished melody. You wrote this. A lifetime ago, Elliot said. It's beautiful. But it stops too soon. So did a lot of things, he murmured. That night, Harper left with the weight of his silence, and the spark of something she hadn't felt in years, hope. And when she reached her penthouse, she realized, the music they'd begun wasn't just unfinished. It was waiting.